Hey y'all, this video is me bragging about my mama. She is a saint. She's a straight edge, as they say. She's never smoked, never drank, never done drugs. Okay, she has been on antidepressants ever since I was about 3 years old, which is kind of a drug, but it's legal. She went to church every single day of her life, every single Sunday. Probably never missed a Sunday. Okay, maybe she's probably missed 10 Sundays in her entire life. And she's approximately 64 years old right now. Every Sunday for 64 years she's been in church because her dad, my grandpa, was a choir director in church. So he made sure that they were in church every Sunday. Yeah, and some churches you're in church Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night. So she quite possibly did that. She was raised in Tennessee from like 0 to 7, something like that. She was in Tennessee. Then they moved to Gallup, New Mexico. I think they were there for like 5 years. Then they went to California. God bless California. I think somewhere in Orange County. My grandma owned like 5 houses in California, which is pretty freaking awesome. Especially since she only worked like 10 years of her life. She was a sub. My mom's mom, she was a sub for 10 years. Somehow she bought 5 California houses. But my grandpa was a hard worker. He was a high school math teacher, which is hard, especially if you're teaching like calculus or something. Anyways, my mom was a saint. I don't approve of the 2 men that she married. My dad, my stepdad were bad men, but they had good qualities. They were both willing to go to church every Sunday. They never hit her. They never hit me. They never hit my brother. So there's something good to say about my dad and my stepdad. But my mom was like, she was great. She was a good manager of money, for the most part. She would keep a budget on her computer, Quicken workbooks, and she would always like, literally, she would keep all her receipts and enter all her receipts, because she was a single mom for 7 years. So she had to keep a very tight budget. Somehow, we survived in California. It's expensive. She was a single mom in California. Luckily, we found a very affordable townhome, like 2 blocks away from my high school. It was like an awesome find, a steal really. But everybody from our church lived in that townhome community, so we lived there. Anyways, she is amazing. Like in my mind, she is just as high as Mother Teresa, which she probably wouldn't even know. That's why I'm making this video. In my mind, she's a freaking saint because she provided for me well for, well, 18 years. And then I got student loans, which I paid off mostly. Then I got student loans, I got a job, I got my own car, I supported myself. But she supported me for 18 years. 7 years she was a single mom. Barely got child support from my worthless dad, who kept getting fired at jobs. Yeah, he barely gave her child support. Probably like half the time. But she had my grandma, her mom, to help her. And my grandma was extremely frugal. She never went out to eat. She never even got fast food. She would eat like baked potatoes and popcorn. And like that was it. Because she probably grew up during the Great Depression. So she was like extremely frugal with money. So that's how she ended up buying 5 houses in California. Worked 10 years, but never ever got takeout. Never got fast food. Very rarely got pizza. They literally lived off of popcorn and baked potatoes. And that's what you gotta do, you know? If you wanna be rich, you gotta act poor. If you wanna be poor, act rich. There's a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad that I always thought about reading that you all should totally read, but it's all about that. It's about this guy comparing his dad and his stepdad. I think his dad was terrible with money, but his stepdad was amazing with money and budgeting. And his stepdad was rich because of that. Anyways, the other cool thing about my mom is she's a genius. She got straight A's in school. She was on like the principal's honor roll like her whole life. She did 2 years of college, but dropped out to marry my dad. She was gonna be a linguistics. She was a linguistics major. She studied German. I think she was planning on learning like a bunch of different languages so that she could be like a translator, which actually is a very profitable job if you ever think of doing that. anybody who translates, especially in hospitals, you can make a lot doing that. What else could I say about my mom? I don't know. She's a saint. She's never cheated on anybody. She's never watched porn. She's never lied. She's never lied to me. It's quite possible, it is possible, my mom has not told a single lie in her entire life. Which is why I grew up being very honest. And I've only told, I don't know, a handful of lies in my life. But it's because I had my mom as my model and my mentor. And, you know, she was my best friend my whole life. My whole life. My whole life. I guess she's kind of still my best friend. We've had our mountains to climb where we're not always seeing eye to eye. But anyway, she's always been my best friend. Anyways, I hope that you all have a mom like that, or that you are a mom like that, or that you have a grandma like that, or somebody. You know, it's good to have someone that's like perfect, that you can try and imitate. And my mom's perfect. So I've always been mostly perfect. Or at least I've tried. Because I wanted to be just like her. I wanted to be a good Christian, honest, a straight edge, no drinking, no smoking, no cussing, no lying, no cheating, no stealing. She's very honest, very good, very kind, usually. Churchgoer. So for all y'all that think that all Christians are hypocrites, no. My mom is not a hypocrite. She talks the talk and walks the walk. She's not perfect, but she's almost perfect. I've never met a person